Praise and glory to the Most High, for His word is true. Let's look at, go back to Luke, the 9th chapter, and verse 31, said, who appeared in glory and spake of his decease, which he should, talk about h.o.d.c, accomplish at Jerusalem. Let him know they came to let him know when he was going to die. But Peter and they that were with him were heavy with sleep. And when they were awake, they saw his glory. And the two men that stood with him. And it came to pass, as they departed from him, Peter said unto them, h.o.d.c, Master, it is good for us to be here. It's good that we was here. And let us make 3 tabernacles, one for thee, one for you, and one for Moses, and one for Elijah. Not knowing what he said. So he realized what he was saying. While he thus spake, there came a cloud, a chariot of the Most High, an i.u.c, identified flying object, and overshadowed them. And they feared as they entered into the cloud. It made them afraid as they entered into the cloud. And there came a voice out of the cloud saying, this is my beloved Son, hear him. And when the voice was past, h.o.d.c was found alone. And they kept it close, and told no man in those days any of those things which they had seen. They kept it to themselves. Let's go to Matthew the 17th chapter. It's the same story. Only Matthew's giving his analysis. Matthew 17:1. And after 6 days, h.o.d.c taketh Peter, James, and John, his brother, and bringeth them up into an high mountain apart, and was transfigured before them, and his face did shine as the sun, and his raiment as white as the light. So he was transfigured into the glory that he had with the Most High. When he was on the right hand side of the Most High before he came to the earth. As you see, when you look at how he was giving an example of that, go to Acts the 9th chapter and verse 3. As Saul, whose name was changed to Paul, was on his road to Damascus, on his way to Damascus, to bring in any of the men, women, and children that's calling on Bahashama, h.o.d.c, in the name of the anointed Savior. So let's look at verse 3, Acts 9:3. It says, and as he journeyed, he came near Damascus, and suddenly there shined round about him a light from heaven. A light. Remember I told you when Peter and James and John seen the glory of Mashiach. It says in verse 2 of the second verse of Matthew the 17th chapter says, and was transfigured before them, and his face did shine as the sun, and his raiment was white as the light, right? So when Saul is seeing him, that's what I said is angelic glory. In Acts the 9th to 3rd chapter, and as he journeyed, he came near Damascus, and suddenly there shined around about him a light from heaven. This light from heaven. And he fell to the earth and heard a voice saying unto him, Saul, Saul, why persecutest thou me? You heard this voice saying that to him. So look at another case scenario of it in Acts the Acts the 22nd chapter. And he's telling the story as what happened to him. It says, Acts 22:6. And it came to, well, let's look at verse 5. As also the high priest does bear me witness in all the estate of the elders, from whom also I received letters unto the brethren, and went to Damascus to bring them which were there bound unto Jerusalem, for to be punished for teaching in the name of the anointed Savior, believing in h.o.d.c, dealing with the works of the law, how the Pharisees and elders and scribes were rolling, and how they were dealing with the law of the Most High. Verse 6, and it came to pass that, as I made my journey, and was come nigh unto Damascus about noon, suddenly there shone from heaven a great light round about me. And I fell into the ground, and heard a voice saying unto me, Saul, Saul, why persecutest thou me? Say. And I answered, Who art thou, Master? And he said unto me, I am h.o.d.c of Nazareth, whom thou persecuted. He was persecuting the people that believed on h.o.d.c in the name of the anointed Savior. And they that were with me saw indeed the light, and were afraid. They were afraid. You see this light bright as the sun, and were afraid. But they heard not the voice of him that spake to me. See. So, going back to Matthew the 17th chapter, the second verse, and was transfigured. The Mashiach was transfigured before them, and his face did shine as the sun. See, that bright light. His face did shine as the sun, and his raiment was white as the light. And behold, there appeared unto him Moses and Elijah, talking with him. Then answered Peter, and said unto him, h.o.d.c, Master, it is good for us to be here. If thou wilt, let us make here 3 tabernacles, one for thee, and one for Moses, and one for Elijah. While he yet spake, behold, a bright cloud, you know those clouds are the chariots of the Most High, the vehicles of the Most High, overshadowed them. And behold, a voice out of the cloud which said, This is my beloved Son, in whom I am well pleased. Hear ye him. When the disciples heard it, they fell on their face and were so afraid. And Mashiach came and touched them and said, Arise and be not afraid. And when they had lifted up their eyes, they saw no man, save Mashiach only. And as they came down from the mountain, the Mashiach charged them, saying, Tell the vision to no man, don't tell no one the vision, until the Son of Man be risen again from the dead. See, the disciples asked him, saying, Why then? That's all I want to know. He said, Don't tell anyone until Mashiach will rise from the dead on the 3rd day. But they came to tell him of his death, how he had to die for the sins of the 12 tribes of Israel. So from there, look at Acts the 1st chapter. Acts the 1st chapter, the 9th verse. So Mashiach, he rose from the dead on the 3rd day. He walked the earth for 40 days. In Acts 1 and 9. And when he had spoken these things, while they beheld, he was taken up. Mashiach was taken up, and a cloud received him out of their sight. So what was this cloud? The chariot or the vehicle of the Most High received Mashiach out of their sight. Verse 10. And while they looked steadfastly toward heaven, they look up into the sky toward heaven, as he went up, as Mashiach going up, he ascending up. In this chariot, in this cloud, behold, 2 men stood by them in white apparel. Remember, you said the angels in white raiment. So these angels were in white apparel, as we just read previously, which also said, Ye men of Galilee, why stand ye gazing up into heaven? See, the heaven is the ozone layer of the sky, the firmament. This same Mashiach which is taking up from you into heaven, shall so come in like manner as ye have seen him go into heaven. Let him know he going to come back the same way you see him going up in heaven. He going to come back in a cloud. It tells you that, and go to Revelations, in Revelation 1 and 7. Behold, he cometh with clouds. Clouds. Not a cloud, but clouds. He come with 200 million angels. Keep that in mind. We come with clouds. Chariots. Plural. Every eye shall see him. So don't worry about nobody saying he over here, he over there. No, every eye gonna see him. And they also which pierced him. So all them that pierced him, from the time that they pierced him from coming to the earth, from the beginning to the end, they gonna see him. And all kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him. So, thus say the Most High, as it is written. So, the cloud took him up into the air. What happened then? What happened after the clouds took him up? Go to Daniel's, the 17th chapter, 13th verse. Daniel 7 and 13. I saw in the night visions, and behold, one like the Son of Man came with the clouds of heaven. See? Came with the clouds of heaven. The vehicles of the Most High. The chariots of the Most High. Clouds of heaven, right? And came to the Ancient of Days. Came to the Most High. Ancient of Days, and they brought him near before him. They brought him near the Ancient of Days. Nobody's older than the Most High. So, this is what we got to understand. Look at Job 36 and 26. As far as him being the Ancient of Days. Job 36, 26. Behold, the Most High is great. Ain't no other entity greater. Say the Most High is great, and we know him not. Neither can the number of his years be searched out. See? Neither can the number of his years be searched out. That's why he's the Ancient of Days. So going back to Daniel 7 and 13. I saw in the night visions, and behold, one like the Son of Man came with the clouds of heaven, and came to the Ancient of Days, and they brought him near before him. So the angels are bringing, once he went up in the clouds, this is so you know what happened. The angels brought him near to the Most High, and they was giving him dominion and glory and a kingdom that all people, nations, and languages should serve him. His dominion is an everlasting dominion. I mean, it's going to last forever and ever and ever. His kingdom, which shall not pass away, and his kingdom that which shall not be destroyed. So that's what's promised to h.o.d.c. That's what he's waiting as he's sitting on the right hand side of the Most High to come and judge and make war and set up his kingdom. It's been given to him to rule forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. Okay, so from there, look at Psalm 68 and 34. Because we know he's coming to judge and make war, and we know every eye gonna see him. Nobody's gonna miss him, no matter if they 50 miles under the earth. They're gonna see him because he created everything through the power of the Most High. So you think he can't dissolve everything? To make sure that whatever it is that you have made in disguising yourself and thinking that nobody knows, you know everything. And he definitely know where you're going to be hiding at, as it is written. Psalm 68 and 34. Psalm 68 and 34. Ascribe ye strength unto the Most High. Not to no man, but unto the Most High. Power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. His excellency is over Israel. Hear that, Israelites? His excellency is over Israel, and his strength is in the clouds. His strength is in the clouds. That's deep. His strength is in the clouds. In his chariots. He has strength in the chariots of the Most High. Look at Psalm 68 and 17. His strength is in the clouds, right? What's in the clouds? The chariots of the Most High. We know the clouds are the chariots, right? So it says the chariots of the Most High are 20,000, even thousands of angels. So these angels are in the clouds. The angels are in the chariots. The Most High is among them, as in Sinai, in the holy place. He among the angels that's in the clouds that represent the chariots of the Most High, the vehicles of the Most High, the Ifos, the identified flying objects, which are the angels. See, that's why when you look at Psalm 68 and 34, it says, ascribe ye strength unto the Most High. His excellency is over Israel, and his strength is in the clouds. His strength is in the clouds. The angels, the spirits of the Most High. Look. These spirits of angels are his strength, as it is written. So, when you look at Ecclesiasticus 39 and 28, there be spirits, these angels. When you make his angel spirits, his ministers of flaming fire, there be spirits that are created for vengeance. There are angels that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on their sore strokes. That's why they put on the strength, put on the strength of the Most High through his angels. There be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. In the time of destruction, they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them, appease the wrath of the Most High. Fire and hail and famine and death, all these were created for vengeance. These are angels, spirits that are created for vengeance. Teeth of wild beasts and scorpions, serpents, and the sword, punishing the wicked to destruction. Listen, they shall rejoice in his commandment, and they shall be ready upon earth. So we got these chariots on the earth. These angels on the earth, right here. When need is, whenever the Most High need them, they right on the earth already. And when their time has come, this is their function. This is their duty. They're in order. They shall not transgress his word. They're not going to transgress his word. Psalms 103 and 20. Psalms 103 and 20. Psalms 103 and 20. Bless the Most High, ye his angels. Bless the Most High, ye his angels, that excel in strength. I say, put on that strength, coming from the Most High, and that strength gonna come from them angels. So I say, you looking at dealing with man, but we have angels around us that are the chariots of the Most High, the vehicles of the Most High. Those Ifos, identified flying objects, because they're gonna be flying. They flying right around you right now. Now you don't know it. Like when they created Casper the Friendly Ghost, a ghost is a spirit. Oh yeah, they floating, shoot, all around. The righteous and the wicked. Angels. Bless the Most High, ye his angels, that excel in strength, that do his commandments. They do the commandments of the Most High, hearkening unto the voice of his word. Hearkening to the voice of his word. See? Bless ye the Most High, all ye his hosts, all ye his angels, ye ministers of his. We just read in Psalms 104 and 3, the ministers of flaming fire. The fire is the word. Like you say, ye ministers of his that do his pleasure. They do the pleasure of the Most High. Bless the Most High, all his works in all places of his doing, dominion. Bless the Most High, oh my spirit. Yes, we're going to continue to bless the Most High. Over and over again, more and more and more. Isaiah 66 and 15. Now these scriptures here are the last scriptures that I would read pertaining to someone that don't want to follow the dietary law. Clean meats and unclean meats. Take them here. Isaiah 66 and 15. Say, for behold, the Most High, when the sin of Mashiach Yahushua, the judge and make war, we just read that. Most High, but Most High gonna be with him. He coming in the power of the Most High. Will come with fire. He coming with fire. And with his chariots, we know the chariots are what? The vehicles of the Most High, the Ifos, like a whirlwind. They're gonna be flying, and it's like we're seeing in Zechariah, like a whirlwind, what they call flying saucers and so forth, to render his anger with fury and his rebuke with flames of fire. See? Render his anger with fury and his rebuke with flames of fire. For by fire and by his sword will the Most High, while my sacrifice plead with all flesh. And the slain of the Most High shall be many. They that sanctify themselves and purify themselves in the gardens behind one tree in the midst, eating swine's flesh. So it's not right. It's not righteous to eat the pig, eat the hog, eating swine's flesh, and the abominations. That's why you got to look at Leviticus 11 chapter and find out what's clean and what's unclean, meats to eat. It's not hard. Just go through Leviticus 11 chapter. It says swine's flesh and the abomination and the mouse shall be consumed together, said the Most High. He said, look, for behold, verse 15, for behold, Most High Mashiach will come with fire, and with his chariots like a whirlwind to render his anger and fury, and his rebuke with flames of fire. He's talking about who he's going to get. For by fire and by his sword will the Most High plead with all flesh, and the slain of the Most High shall be many. He's going to kill a whole lot of people that eat swine, that eat the pig, and anything that's abominable. Shrimp, crab, lobster, oysters, catfish, anything that eat boo-boo, y'all better not be eating it. Shall be consumed together, said the Most High. For I know their works and their thoughts. He know what you're thinking and what you're doing. And sitting at the table, or ordering that pig, catfish and so forth. It shall come that I will gather all nations and tongues, and they shall come and see my glory. They're going to come and see the Most High's glory of Mashiach Yahushua as he come to what? Judge and make war. He's not getting around it. That's the way it is. That's why you can change. That's why you got to change. You can't stay the same. You got to change. Exodus 13 and 21. Exodus 13, 21. And the Most High, through Mashiach Yahushua, will before them by day in a pillar of a cloud to lead them the way. You see, this in the wilderness. When we were in the wilderness, the children of Israel, the Most High, through Mashiach Yahushua, went before them by day in a pillar of a cloud, which is a chariot, an Ifos, identified flying object, to lead them the way. And by night in a pillar of fire. That's why they call it a star. When the wise men saw what was in the sky moving, but you see, it's a pillar of a cloud. It's in the daytime. Pillar of a cloud by day and fire by night. And the Most High, through Mashiach Yahushua, or Mashiach Yahushua through the Most High, went before them by day in a pillar of a cloud, which is a vehicle, a chariot of the Most High, to lead them the way. And by night in a pillar of fire. See, It was a cloud in the day, but it's got night. It was a pillar of fire to give them light so they could see, to go by day and night. So we travel in the daytime following that cloud, at nighttime following the fiery chariot of the Most High, vehicle, angel of the Most High, which we know is the h.o.d.c. He took not away the pillar of the cloud by day, nor the pillar of fire by night from before the people, from before the Israelites. Like I said, the daytime was a cloud, the evening was fire. Let's look at Exodus 14 and 19. And the angel of the Most High, which went before the camp of Israel, removed and went behind them. This is when we get ready to go over the Red Sea. And the pillar of the cloud went from before their face and stood behind them. So now we know that it was in the daytime. Because the cloud, the chariot, as a cloud is in the daytime. A chariot as fire is in the nighttime. So we know that it's in the daytime. So it says, and the pillar of the cloud went from before their face and stood behind them. So the pillar of the cloud went from before our face and went behind us. And it came between the camp of the Egyptians and the camp of Israel. And it was a cloud and darkness to them. But it gave light by night to these, so that the one came not near the other all the night. See? So, it said, and then Moses stretched out his hand over the sea, and the Most High caused the sea to go back by a strong wind, well, east wind, all that night, and made the sea dry land, and the waters were divided. The children of Israel went into the midst of the sea upon the dry ground. He dried the ground of the Red Sea that we could go over. And the waters were a wall unto them on their right hand and on their left. So it's a wall on the right hand and a wall on the left hand. And the Egyptians pursued and went in after them to the midst of the sea, even all Pharaoh's horses, his chariots, and his horsemen. Chasing us. So they went into they say, oh, it's dry. Seeing us doing the miracle that happened with us as the Israelites, they're going to do the same thing. It came to pass, and in the morning watch, the Most High looked into the host of the Egyptians through the pillar of fire and of the cloud, and troubled the host of the Egyptians. So Most High is looking, but he's looking through, as we read in verse 19. Keep this in mind. And the angel of the Most High, right? So, the angel of the Most High is the one that's in the cloud. Remember, you make these clouds, angels. So the angel, this angel is in the cloud, looking. The Most High see everything. So he's giving the direction to the angel of the Most High. We're going to find out who that angel is. The scriptures identify him too. Verse 24, and it came to pass that in the morning watch, the Most High, through the angel of the Most High, looked unto the host of the Egyptians through the pillar of fire and of the cloud, and troubled the host of the Egyptians, and took off their chariot wheels, that they drave them heavily. So that the Egyptians said, let us flee from the face of Israel, for the Most High fighteth for them against the Egyptians. And the Most High said unto Moses, stretch out thine hand over the sea. The angel who took off the wheels of the chariots, and say, stretch out thy hand over the sea, that the waters may come again upon the Egyptians, upon their chariots and upon their horsemen. And Moses stretched forth his hand over the sea, and the sea returned to its strength when the morning appeared, and the Egyptians fled against it, And the Most High overthrew the Egyptians in the midst of the sea. And the waters returned and covered the chariots and the horsemen and all the host of Pharaoh that came into the sea after him. There remained not so much as one of them. But the children of Israel walked upon dry land in the midst of the sea. And the waters were a wall unto them on their right hand and on their left. Thus the Most High saved Israel that day out of the hand of the Egyptians. And Israel saw the Egyptians dead upon the seashore. See them all wash up to the seashore dead. Israel saw that great work which the Most High did upon the Egyptians. The people feared the Most High and believed the Most High and his servant Moses. So we see, let's go back to Exodus 14:19. And the angel of the Most High, which went before the camp of Israel, right, moved and went behind them. Let's see who that angel of the Most High is. Go to 1 Corinthians, the 10th chapter. Like I said, the Bible answers all things. 1 Corinthians, 10th chapter. Let's start at verse 1. Moreover, brethren, I would not that ye should be ignorant, meaning not knowing, that all our fathers were under the cloud. See, under the cloud, we just read about this. Under the cloud, which is the chariot of the Most High, and all passed through the sea. We just read about them. We are, as the Israelites, going through the sea, the Red Sea, on dry ground. They were all baptized unto Moses in the cloud and in the sea. Did all eat the same spiritual meat, and did all drink the same spiritual drink. For they drank of that spiritual rock that followed them, and that rock was Mashiach. How about that? As an angel of the Most High, Spirit of the Most High. But with many of them, the Most High and the Mashiach h.o.i was not well pleased, for they were overthrown in the wilderness. That 600,000 and killed 599,998 men. Killed all the women, adult women, and only let out Joshua and Caleb and the children that were born in those 40 years to go into the land of Canaan. Verse 6, now these things were our examples. That's why we read about it. These are our examples. To the intent we should not lust after evil things, but come back to righteousness, the laws of the Most High, as they also lusted. So we have the examples of not to do as they done. Neither be ye idolaters, fornicators, as were some of them. As it is written, the people sat down to eat and drink and rose up to play. They eat and drink, just like they're doing now, eating and drinking, and rising up to play. Doing all kind of fornication, adultery, adulteresses, dealing with the world, liking those of the world. Now all you're doing is you're subjecting yourself to hell, be thrown in the hell lake of fire. Neither let us commit a fornication, as I just said, as some of them committed, and fell in one day 20 and 3,000. 23,000. 3 and 20,000 is 23,000. In one day he killed. Neither let us tempt a Mashiach, who is the angel of the Most High in the Old Testament, that we just read about, as some of them also tempted and were destroyed of serpents. See? He killed them with poisonous snakes. Neither murmur ye, as some of them also murmured, like some of you might be murmuring out there now, and were destroyed of the destroyer. Mashiach coming to judge and make war. He is the destroyer. Also, besides the angel of the Most High, the Spirit of the Most High, the Holy Spirit. Now all these things happen unto them for examples. See, the things happen to them for examples to us, for us. And they are written for our admonition, upon whom the ends of the world are come. Wherefore let him that thinketh he standeth take heed lest he fall. See? You've got to take heed to what it is that has been written, that we can go back and review, say, oh no, we can't do that because this is the result of it. It's going to be no difference. You're not changing. Look at, go back to the book of Exodus 14. And let's start at verse 13. And Moses said unto the people, Fear ye not, stand still, and see the salvation of the Most High, while h.o.d.c, as the angel of the Most High, which he will show to you today. Powers and authority of the Most High. For the Egyptians whom ye have seen today, ye shall see them again no more forever. See, these Egyptians who you seen today, you ain't gonna see them no more forever. The Most High, while h.o.d.c, as the angel of the Most High, shall fight for you, and ye shall hold your peace. You're gonna be quiet. You gotta do nothing. The Most High gonna take care of business. All you gotta do is just watch and hold your peace. Don't say nothing. And the Most High said unto Moses, Wherefore criest thou unto me? Why you crying unto me? Speaking to the children of Israel, that they go forward. But lift thou up thy rod, and stretch out thine hand over the sea, and divide it. And the children of Israel shall go on dry ground through the midst of the sea. As we just read about the h.o.d.c being baptized, that rock that followed us was a Mashiach. And I, behold, I will harden the hearts of the Egyptians, and they shall follow them. And I will get me honor upon Pharaoh. Hear that? This is all about the Most High. So I'm going to get me honor upon Pharaoh. He going to know of the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. But he said, how you going to get him honor? Upon Pharaoh, and upon his chariots, and upon his horsemen. Straight up. See. And the angel of the Most High, who we know now is who? Hamashiach, Yahushua, as an angel, which went before the camp of Israel, removed and went behind them, and the pillar of the cloud went from before their face and stood behind them. It came between the camp of the Egyptians and the camp of Israel. And there was a cloud and darkness to them, but it gave light by night 2 days, so that the one came not near the other all the night. And Moses stretched out his hand over the sea, and the Most High, through a h.o.d.c, the angel of the Most High, which we read about in verse 19, caused the sea to go back by a strong east wind all that night, and made the sea dry land, and the waters were divided. The children of Israel went into the midst of the sea upon the dry ground, and the waters were a wall upon them on their right hand and on their left. And the Egyptians pursued and went in after them to the midst of the sea, even all Pharaoh's horses, his chariots, and his horsemen. It came to pass that in the morning watch, the Most High, through h.o.d.c, the angel of the Most High, which we read about in verse 19, and the angel of the Most High, that in the morning watch, the Most High looked upon the host of the Egyptians, the army of the Egyptians, through the pillar of the fire, fire and of the cloud, and troubled the host of the Egyptians, and took off their chariot wheels, that they drave them heavily, so that the Egyptians said, Let us flee from the face of Israel. But the Most High, while h.o.d.c, the angel of the Most High, fighted for them against the Egyptians. See, that's powerful. That's why we have to know what this word is saying, and how you just said it's strength. Most High strength, his angels. But who hears them? Look at Psalms 34:7. Psalms 34:7. The angel of the Most High encampeth round about them that fear him, and delivereth them. Isn't it what we just witnessed? An account of? The angel of the Most High encampeth round about them that fear him, and delivereth them. Powerful. Yep. Go to Exodus 24. Exodus 24th chapter. And verse, start at verse 15. Exodus 24 and 15. And Moses went up into the mount, and a cloud covered the mount. See, Moses went into the mountain, and the cloud covered the mountain. We know the clouds are the chariots. Psalms 104 and 3. Con? Okay, so it says, and the glory of the Most High abode upon Mount Sinai. And the cloud covered it 6 days. The glory of the Most High is h.o.d.c. But he's an angel of the Most High. Covered it 6 days, bringing forth the word of the Most High. And the 7th day he called unto Moses out of the midst of the cloud. And the sight of the glory of the Most High was like devouring fire. The sight of the glory of the Most High was like devouring fire on the top of the mount in the eyes of the children of Israel. See, that's very important, man. Because when you look at go to go to the book of Hebrews. 12 and 29. Hebrews 12 and 29. Say, for our power is a consuming fire. See, for our power is a consuming fire. Okay? Deuteronomy 4:24. Deuteronomy 4 and 24. For the Most High, thy power is a consuming fire, even a jealous power. Okay? Don't think of him as anything different. So then you look at St. John 10 and 30. It says, I and my Father are one. I and my Father are one. So you think, am I going to say coming to judge and make war? He coming as a consuming fire also, as he make war. You don't believe him? Look, he said, guess I have to go back there when it says in Revelation 19, out of his mouth is consuming fire. Revelation 19 and 15. Revelation 19:15, and out of his mouth goeth a sharp sword, that with it he should smite the nations, and he shall rule them with a rod of iron, which is the laws of the Most High.